Alright, how's it going? I just thought I'd do a quick one tonight. It's about 18 degrees, it's cooling down a bit now, so I'm out getting some fresh air, stretching my legs again. And my arms, they've been playing up. So I thought I'd do a quick one about psoriasis. And I know probably what you're thinking is there what this guy ain't got? If there were us, he'd have shot him. Now, I'm still going. Psoriasis, right. Skin condition, innit? That's a bit of a bad do when you've got it. There's plenty of stuff out there to treat it, and I'll tell you sort of what worked for me, and let you know my experience about it all. Alright. Yeah, so it's flared up on my skin a few years ago, and it just started off like red blobs and that, and a bit of dry skin. To cut a long story short, it took some diagnosing. At first they treated me for eczema, so I went through all different potions and creams. You get a bit sick of putting them on, I'll tell you. I tried all that, and then I ended up being diagnosed that I'd got psoriasis. Now to me, it was weird because like, where's it come from? And I should have thought really, because my mum had psoriasis when she was younger. Yeah, so it can be hereditary, psoriasis, and it can be a right bugger. Honestly, it's not just the fact that your skin's all looking funny, but it's very, very sore and it can be very itchy. So whilst I talk about that, I'm going to probably turn camera around because it's too good just to be looking at my ugly chops tonight. Here we are in Barnborough again. Right, here we go. See if this works. We're off. So like I was saying, my psoriasis came, you could see it visibly. It started off on my elbows. I just thought, what's this? What's happening now? I thought they'd try creams and that, and I had to go to a skin specialist. So I tried all that, and honestly, it were about best part of a year to 18 months before they said, well, no, it's working. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I could have told you that. But I had to keep going back. And finally they said, we think it could be psoriasis. We're going to treat you now for psoriasis. I'll tell you a bit how it was affecting me, shall I? So, like I said, it were on me, mostly my joints and stuff. But then it started appearing in my face, in my hair, which were awful. Having big clumps of like skin. It were like dandruff, but it was a lot worse. But it eventually covered most of my body, about 80% of my body, and it were like scales. Speaking of scales, I don't know if we'll see any snakes tonight, but what happened was when they'd come to a conclusion that none of these creams were even remotely working, bear in mind, I'm still going to work. At that point, I'm still travelling on a train, really conscious, if anybody's ever had psoriasis to that degree, about, this sounds horrible, but leaving bits of skin everywhere. And hosting meetings and looking down at your keyboard and seeing there's bits of flaky skin and perhaps you're bleeding. It's really a tricky thing to overcome, as well as the anxiety with that. And they both weren't helping each other, those conditions, I can tell you that now. It were rough, like. They said to me, you need some light therapy. And I'll just turn it around a bit again. You need light therapy next. And I'm like, what's that all about? And I'd heard sometimes you can go on almost like a sunbed. And that's what it were. It was just like being in Benidorm. You'd have loved it, James, for about 30 seconds a day. It's all right, that, but you have to travel to go on to, it's done in hospital, right? And it's different rays. There's different rays. So it's not the same as a sunbed, but it's very intrusive, so you'll have to start off having like 30 seconds or 20 seconds. You end up going about 16, 17 times before it's even on like a minute. So yeah, That were a big commitment. Now, for some people, at this point, when they've had light therapy, presto, it's gone. And it never comes back. So, it does work with a lot of people, they reckon, this light therapy. Well, it didn't so much with me at end. It was funny. You're not allowed to go in the sun. I'm not allowed to be in the sun, but I've got sunblock on today and I'm only out for 10 minutes. You're not allowed to go on in the sun when you're having sunbed treatment because it's quite heavy on your skin. Obviously, if you went away, I don't know how you'd fare. You'd have to definitely be in shade, so that's something to consider. And how it affected me were towards end, I were nearly clear. So I was like, this is a godsend. This fantastic. It's with embarrassment of going just about every day and taking your kit off and standing there in front of a nurse and having a look at you up and down. But you get over that, don't you, as you get a bit older. Chuffing came back about a week later, worse than ever. It was horrendous. So that were absolutely a killer for confidence. You know when you think you've almost cracked something and then you realise, nah, not done with you yet, JT. Have a bit more. This psoriasis came back. I was like a snake, bleeding all over, leaving half my bits in rooms, embarrassed to hell. Felt shocking with it. It really pissed me off. And I know it's quite like that because there's people out there that's much less fortunate, isn't there? You know, there's people that have got permanent illness and things that they can't shake. But it did affect me. They ended up, after light treatment, moving me to the next phase. Now, the next phase is harder, and it was methotrexate for me. It was a harder sort of treatment, this injection. Now, with this treatment, the one that I'm on, and I'm still on it today, a butterfly look, is it has a lot of side effects. It absolutely, because one thing with psoriasis is it's a build-up of your immune system working overtime, working too much, so your body's kind of destroying your body, your skin, almost turning against you. So you have to get a balance. So yeah, I eventually got onto this injection, which I'm still on, and once I'd got used to the side effects, I did have to take some time out from my day to day because it's a chemotherapy based treatment. And I was going through sicknesses and stuff like that at first until I got used to it. And obviously there's a point where you think, is this worth bothering with, or do I just live with skin condition? But I'm glad I persevered, if I'm honest. Because within about 3 months, my skin had totally cleared up. Again, pretty much like anxiety and other things, it'll depend on your own personal circumstances. It could even be attributed to certain foods make it worse, but I never found out which flared it up. Mine just flared up, right? So I'm living now with the injections. However, there are some, like I said, there are side effects, but also what's happened is it's affected my bones, and I have now got psoriatic arthritis, which is actually crippling me day to day. Now with that, again, there are some treatments, and sometimes methotrexate works wonders, and it will clear your skin up and also sort your arthritis out and stop your bones getting worse and crumbling. Right? Bear in mind, I'm only 52, so it is a bugger, but like I said earlier, there's people who are a lot worse off, so I try and manage it best I can. So I'm on this other injection that I take every fortnight, and it's a biological thing, and I forgot naming it. But anyway, that's once a fortnight, and my other one's once a week. It's a bit weird, first of all, treating yourself, but I had a nurse come and show me what to do. and they were spot on, if you know what I mean. They were fine, patient and that, you know. Does it hurt? No, it don't really. It's just like a tiny scratch, and sometimes you don't feel it, so you wonder if you've actually injected yourself, but there's a marker on it that shows you that you have. So yeah, it's been good. So what that's done is I don't have that many flare-ups of psoriasis at all. I might get a couple of patches, but it's livable, right? Hopefully as well, the biological thing that I'm taking, it's given me a little bit more movement, because there were some days where I couldn't walk with my arthritis, or some days were a lot worse than others, but a lot of times it was stopping me doing everything. Now, the reason I'm sort of talking about it as well is I'm able to do stuff like this now and have a little trot round field and take my time with a bit of clever editing. In some ways, I wished I'd found it earlier, really, and I wonder if it'd have ever got this bad. But like I said, I'm grateful that we've got this NHS that, you know, they've tried everything and they didn't stop trying until I got something more suitable. So I am still in full-time work, and I'm able to do a limited amount of things and keep moving with this medication. Also, I'll keep talking about this because you have some challenges day to day, and at the moment, because the weather's really, really good and I'm on top of medication, I'm able to go for a little walk like this. Some days, trust me, I can't move my knees to get out of bed. It's a right show. So with arthritis, if anybody's got it or they're living with it, yeah, I'd love to hear from you, because it's a funny one, how it comes, and then it's like totally changes your life. Totally changes things. And I bet you're thinking, Christ, he's going on about his ailments again. Somebody actually said to me, I like your videos, but you go on about your illnesses and stuff. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, could you make it a bit more light because you're funny at work? Well, I can't just... I can probably say a few funny things that just come to me. I can't make them funny if they're not, you know what I mean? And I'd sooner have a normal talk about stuff that might help some bugger, you know. Funny that. Oh, I've got my ghost hat on and all today. Let's have a look. See if I can spin you around again. Yeah, I've got my ghost hat on. So I thought I'd talk about that for a second as well. They dropped a new album last week or week before now, Skeletor. And I put it on and I was like, I'm not right sure about this. And then I thought, you've got to give it time. And it's a great album. I love it, me. I know it's got mixed reviews. It's got to #1 in a lot of charts and all, which is, it's good. It's good for rock music, even if you don't like Ghost. It's good that rock music's still getting up there and selling, isn't it? I love it, me. So I would say anybody who, it's a right good album. It sounds a bit 80s, well, a lot 80s. I did this before, didn't I? Prat. It's right dark under there. Ended up having to chop half a video off last time like an idiot. Holy what, hips going down a bit. Jesus. Yeah, Ghost, yeah. So yeah, I've seen them a few times live and all. They're absolutely phenomenal live. If you can get to see them now, because from when I first saw them, they were about 20-30 quid and you could get a ticket. These days it's like everything big, isn't it? It's like 100 quid to see them, and there's thousands queuing up. So I probably will see him again one day, but crowds and that, now I've already said I'm not amazing at them. Even I have someone with me, like I'd take somebody with me. But yeah, album's good. You've got to give it time. It's very 80s. It's a funny album because it's all the theme of it is kind of coming to terms with loss, and for me it is anyway, and the death and stuff like that. And dealing with grief as well, it helps with that. I've definitely shed a couple of tears, I don't mind admitting, to a couple of songs, but in music, brilliant for that. Like, alright, you can watch a film like a sad film, But music, it motivates you, does me. It brings back memories, almost like a photo book, innit? And it can help with loss and grieving. It's powerful. I reckon there's something more to music, me. I reckon if you've not ever loved music or you ain't got a favourite band, I think you're missing out, I'll be honest with you. Because I love Ghost. My favourite band, one of my favourite bands of all time now. Beastie Boys, I'm a sucker for Beastie Boys. And Eagles. I like Miss Slayer. I like all types of music. But mostly these days, I'm back into rock and stuff, yeah. If it sounds good, it's right, innit? But yeah, like hotels really, if you've got the signs of psoriasis and you keep getting told it's just dry skin, I'd persevere with your doctor, definitely. Because I can now have more confidence knowing that I've got that it's medicated. And for me, it's worth it. It really is. So I just thought I'd share that. Do you know something? I've just been thinking, and I don't know if this is inappropriate or what, but I'm just going to say it because it's on my mind, right? Let me turn this round again. I was saying that album's a bit 80s, and it got me thinking of 80s and stuff. And I get right nostalgic with stuff like this. But you used to walk down a field in 80s, and this is no word of a lie, you used to find a mucky buck in edges. Now then, and it's not just me, I'm not being mucky. Lots of my friends have said the same. They were walking along it woods, in 80s or late 70s, and there'd be a mucky bug. How's it got there? I don't know. I mean, I thought about it just for a split second then, but actually it's something I have thought about before, because who puts them there? It's very mysterious, isn't it? Is somebody getting rid of something that they don't want to be caught with? Probably. They don't grow on trees, do they? They ain't like just appeared. Sounds daft that, but yeah, why were they there in 80s in bushes? I have spoke to a few people, and I'm not losing it. They have said before them. It wild, they said. And some of these books now, they're worth a lot of money, allegedly. I wouldn't know. Now. Only what I've been told, like. But yeah, how come you don't see them these days? It's a bloody good job, really, isn't it? You don't just randomly walk around and there's a mucky buck. So that's the beautiful view. And I've just walked around there with a few stops. So, as its temperature's dropping a little bit here in UK now, the sun will be coming down, setting on this lovely Yorkshire village of Bamborough. Used to be a pit than ours around here. Well, I've already said that, haven't I? Yeah, so cheers everybody for watching. I just want to mention as well, before I go, without parroting on, that it's by the curb and behind the curb, my friend James's channels. Now the reason I'm mentioning it is if you're a fan of his, or if you've never discovered it, check his videos out, because it's about van life and how we got into van life. He lives in a van, can you believe it? Not daft, that bugger. And he goes on travels, he goes to Benidorm, he loves Benidorm. So if you're thinking of going to Benidorm, check his videos out and you'll see how beautiful it is. And don't listen to any bugger that says it's rough like Skegness, because I'm telling you now, Old Town is as good as anywhere in Spain. Now then, it's as good as anywhere you'll go. It's beautiful. Now the reason I'm mentioning him is it's obviously a pal from school, but he is raffling off his first ever van that he used for van life, and it's a bonza, right? You should see it. It's unbelievable. It's all been kitted out in back. It professionally done by a proper company that does these conversions, or motorhomes that build them from scratch. And it's absolutely unbelievable what he's had done to that van. And he's raffling it off because he's had to upscale a bit for his family and that he does videos with, and his partner Ellen. So yeah, he did it for a couple of years and he's had to upscale. And with that, he's got a different van. And he wants to raise a bit of money so he can pay towards the new van, which is fair dues, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's only a £5 a ticket. I've just bought one for each of my family, and if you buy so many you get a free one. That's the point. How do you know which free one is and who wins that? You know, if they win van, is it like, it's got to be me and it 'cause I've paid, surely. Chances of me winning that bugger? Well, you've got to be in it to win it, that's what I would say to everybody. Right, that is me. Have a brilliant evening, everybody. Thank you very much for coming on this walk again with all the midges. No owls, Nicholas. There's no owls here tonight for you. My old boss likes owls, but it's not here tonight again. Bit early for him. Right. Have a good one. Like and subscribe if you like it. Give us a like, give us a comment, meet world. And it helps with algorithm thing and all, what they keep banging on about, which I don't understand at all. But yeah, it does help. Cheers, everybody. Oh.